QK100 Mark II. QK's latest project. I'm not gonna lie, for a second there I thought QK was either slowing down or just kind of like stopping. There was like, you know, little weird rumors floating about. Do you think QK will stop doing bare bones? The answer is no. They are apparently not going to be stopping doing Neo lineups. It's just, I think they're kind of slowing down to focus on more quality things, if that makes any... It's not like their stuff wasn't quality. I thought their stuff was great. But the answer is no, they are not. The QK100, we've looked at 100%, or I guess full-size style keyboards. I wouldn't call this 100%, but full-size style keyboards, or 98% keyboards from them in the past. This is their newest one. I think this is also the first time, just to start off this conversation with just some information, this is the first time I think they're actually launching this with a promo, because I don't think QK/Neo/ you know, whatever, QWERTY keys ever really does that. They did send this in. This is going to be a sponsor review because I get to keep this unit. Obviously, we're going to be as brutally honest as we always are. This is going to cost, again, take this with a grain of salt because this is launch price and it's only for 2 weeks. When it launches on the 24th, this will be $200. So $197.10. Other than that, it'll be $220. Not bad. This is going to be, it looks like, only pre-built for now. They will be doing non-pre-built stuff in their Neo lineup, but I think the way that QK is marketing their QK lineup now is this seems to be their pre-assembled, for people who don't want no fuss type thing, which is fine. I actually appreciate them having a pre-built lineup. There are tons of people in this hobby who just sometimes want a keyboard without the fuss, that just want something for work, want something as a gift. I get it. I hope, because it says right here, I don't know if you guys can see, custom mechanical keyboard. I hope this is easy to get into, to modify, we'll see. Some other stuff, some other notes about this particular project. This is gonna have 4 different colors: radiant silver, aquamarine blue, strawberry pink, and black night. This will have a structural design with multi-layers of foam. So if you guys are into foam stuff, obviously I'd like to take this apart and just kind of look at it today. So that'll be fun. This will also have tri-mode connectivity, which is nice. It will have double shot ABS, which is the fun part about this board. Double shot ABS mixed with a little bit of PBT. So I don't know what part exactly will be the PBT, but this is, I think, what, QK's first time that they've even dabbled with like ABS/PBT mixes, and ABS PBT mixes can be really fun. So I thought that was really cool. They're saying this is designed to resist shine and enhance like the typing experience. I don't know, we'll see. This is their JDK bio. Is that what they're doing here? Because they're saying this is their own molds. So we'll see exactly. This will also have a dual screen, if you guys are into the screen stuff. I know some people really are. I've had a few people kind of go out of their way to tell me they love this kind of stuff. Totally preference-based. RGB control, it'll have an 8,000 milliamp battery with apparently 800 hours, no lights or screens though, of performance. They're saying full RGB and screens will be about 40 hours, which I feel like if you're using this just to go full-on RGB/screen mode, I feel like you just plug it in. Okay. And this will also have a touch bar for volume control, which reminds me of, remember that Angry Meow keyboard? I think there might have been 1 or 2 boards now that we've had like touch controls, which is fun. And this will also have, I think this is a bit more of like, I don't even know why this is a point here, audio reactive lighting. I'm gonna tell you guys honestly, this is again, very personal here. I don't know when the hell I've ever used audio reactive lighting ever on my products. I have a bunch of stuff that has that. Never used it. I think it's very, very novel. So anyways, just a fun little part they put into this. So let's open this up for now. I heard they bought out JTK. Hey, this has good quality keycaps on it too from JTK. So just to have some understanding, guys, I actually didn't know they bought out JTK. If this does have molds that were related to or in relation to JTK, I love JTK keycaps. I have like a handful of them just because I don't think JTK ever reached the popularity that GMK did, or even like other brands like Keykobo did or SWG did. For what reason, I don't know. I've always loved JTK stuff, but they were always great. If this has good JTK style quality keycaps, this will add to that $200 price point. I'm hoping anyways. They were just always like, they were good thickness, they had good sound to them, they had good quality, so we'll see when we open the box today. They also had a Notion page, which I really haven't taken too much of a look at, but I think it's just more in-depth details about this. I think this is using the Neo oat switches, which I think I've already looked at once before, which they were good. Can't complain about the oat switches. Gasket mount design. Yeah, lots of foam in this. We'll take this apart and kind of look too. So do they have any more like notes about the keycaps here? Actually, this is something else I might talk about today too. So this has an in-house web driver. But all right, let's open this up now. All right, let's see what we get inside this box. All right, so we have a little manual here. Got a little manual, and then we have our keyboard and some accessories. What do we got in here first? Another, put this in my collection of stuff. And then what else do we get here? Some extra switches, and we have our USB dongle, 3 extra switches, and a cable. Pretty standard fare. Dead or deaf new molds. I can see the bottom row mods. I'm actually really excited for the keycaps. I wonder if, this is maybe a good question to ask them. I wonder if they're going to start selling keycaps now. That would be very cool. Another potential ABS PBT mix on the market. That'd be exciting. I'm always up for more competition, especially when it comes to keycaps. I do like the keycap design already. Ooh, you know what? Let me actually plug this in. This looks pretty good, actually. I don't know why. I thought this was gonna be like, I guess from the photos, this looked a lot like chunkier in person. That was quick to boot up too. This is a cool screen. So what does this do? Oh shit, that's pretty neat actually. I'm not gonna lie guys, after all these years, I'm still a sucker for like little screens on keyboards. I think they're so much fun. So this is just back and forth. Oh, we have the little cat that types. This is actually a lot more contrasty in person. I don't know, my screen is just not picking this up or I guess my camera isn't. I'll show the QK software afterwards too. All right, and then I guess, is this a screen too? Yeah, this is a little tiny screen here too. And this is the touch bar. Wait, I kind of dig the LEDs going up and down as I use the touch bar too. So this is controlling my volume. Obviously you can't hear that, but. Okay, that looks good actually. And that just cycles between this. Interesting. Tap to mute. Oh shit. Yeah, it is tap to mute. That's cool actually. I like the position of that too. All right, let's take a look at the other side of this as well. Very Matrix style. You know, I've said this before obviously, but a little bit of a Matrix-esque style here. I vibe. Is this something you can peel off as well? Oh, nice. You can peel off the UPC code. Thank you. This is nice. We have actually, yeah, this is really great too. I love seeing this, by the way. I love having little dedicated buttons on the back. We do have some hex screws to access the keyboard from the bottom. Love that. So right away, this gets some points from me. I love that they also didn't make this like you have to take off the keycaps and hunt for stuff on the inside here. Very fun. And what does this one here do? Actually, I didn't even check. Oh, maybe this is for like wireless modes. I think so, actually. Okay. That's the biggest pet peeve of avoiding on wireless. Oh, these things, these things here. I love having these accessed over here. It's for the RGB. Oh, okay. Then my lights are too bright for that. Now, in terms of keycaps, I mean, overall design, I like this. I think it's not as over the top as some of the other like more stylized keyboards. I don't mind having some of this stylized stuff here. I do appreciate that like the side profile, the back and the front are quite simple. So while it does have some stylization here, it's not going too crazy. Even some of the more crazy stuff they left on the bottom, I don't even think this is too out of the realm of like tasteless craziness. You know, like this is nice. Looks good here. Side profile is kind of fun too with this kind of like little ledge, this foot over here. Unique, I like it. Now for the keycaps, which is something I'm very interested in. I like the colors. The colors are nice. Look at the legends. They look pretty good to me. So this is their new, actually maybe the A, the P is a little thicker there when we zoom in and go crazy on this. The P is a smidge thicker, but let's take a look at some of the other stuff here. Shift looks good, everything else looks good. Maybe the backspace mold needs a little bit of a tweak. Lowercase e on the enter. I actually think that looks fine. It looks like the rest of the other ones. I have no quarrel with the E's. I think that's just the typeface. The overbite you're saying, that's just the typeface they use. I think the backspace is really the only one I have a smidge of an issue with. But then again, when you're looking at it from like more of a normal view, you probably won't notice it as much. But yes, it is a smidge bolder than the rest of them. How do the rest of these legends look? So you can even see on the M, the typeface they chose. I don't mind it. It's a bit more, I guess, like stylized and rounded. Not so much stylized, more rounded. So, you know, I'll give them a hats off. They've definitely made a very good first attempt at their own first keyboards here. I think the end's fine. I don't mind the end. I think it's just, see these little cross sections where the lines meet? You can see it on the M as well. See? I think those are a bit more bold. That even might be the typeface. I do agree with you, CJ. I will take this over any gamer font any day of the week. It's not picture perfect, but I think this is a very valid first attempt, especially on a $200 fully assembled keyboard. I am not going to complain. I do like that the caps lock does have lock as more of a, looks like more bold than the word caps. I'll definitely bring some of this stuff up. I'm sure they can adjust the mold. I mean, we saw Kikobo go through the same thing as well with their first molds as well. I know some people are very, very particular about where the sprues are. So in case you guys don't realize, the sprues are on every piece of plastic keycap. It's where the plastic kind of has to like get formed and mold it basically. It's something you snap off. It does look like they've put it here. We do have some plate mounted stabilizers, which as you guys know, I am not picky about my plate mounted stabs. Like I think plate mounted can be very valid. They're good. Let's see how this looks like, or sounds like first of all, and then we'll take this apart and do some exploring on the inside of this board. This sounds like it has a good underlying bass. I don't know what I'm hearing. I love this like chalky sound that I'm hearing. It could be the ABS PBT keycap as well. Maybe that's doing some heavy lifting here too. I think maybe just the spacebar stab needs a smidge of attention. For stock though, I would be very happy if I got this. Not bad for a pre-assembled board. Yeah, like even at $200, like I'm not pressed to spend, like if I needed a 100% keyboard or full size keyboard or something close to it, and this was an option on the table, $200 with caps, it's not bad. Like I would actually reuse these caps too. Like if I had to rebuild this, it looks good on the keyboard. So, but let's open this up, shall we, guys? Let's see what do we got inside the board here. We do have a ribbon cable I need to be careful about. What do we have under here? Another ribbon cable. A few ribbon cables, obviously, because this is a battery and stuff as well. So let me actually disconnect the cables here. So here is the top. I'm actually very surprised that they didn't go with pogo pins for some of the connection points here. Obviously, this is a pre-built keyboard, and I don't think the expectation is people will take this apart. But for 3 ribbon cables that are actually pretty fair-sized ribbon cables with decent lengths to the cables themselves, this is pretty easy to open. I think from my perspective, they're going to get a solid thumbs up. Also, hi Shark. A solid thumbs up is what they're probably going to get for just how easy this is to open and start modding. I think this is pretty smooth. So hats off to them there. They did put a gasket underneath the spacebar. I wonder if we just take one of these off. It's a PCB mount as well. I wonder if that would open up some of this spacebar there as well. Yeah, they do have per key flex cuts. Not my cup of tea if I were to like take this completely and tear this down and make this foamless. But I've been surprised about flex cuts in the past. I still want to take this apart and maybe remove 1 or 2 sheets of foam and see what we can get from this. We do have the option to put in PCB stabs. I appreciate that. If I were to press on this really hard, there's no flex happening here with this. Maybe overall the unit is a bit flexy because of that, but I feel like a 1.2 mil PCB is just going to be flexy anyways. We have some more foam and then a pretty simple bottom case. I'm guessing if we take this apart, we'll see the daughter board and all the batteries and stuff. I would be curious to see from like a fixing standpoint what it looks like underneath there. So what do we got underneath here? QK gets another point in my book. Non-adhered batteries to the bottom here. Also just using regular schmegular cables with JST point connectors over here. You can fix this. You can replace the battery. QK gets a point. The reason I'm giving this a clap is because, dude, I feel like the last few pre-assembled boards we've looked at all have these weird fucking systems on the bottom, which you cannot service your own keyboard, which is stupid. All right. Let's take off some keycaps. I guess for anyone who cares and does not care about disassembling this keyboard, this is probably the end of the line for you. I think from a overall standpoint, just talking about the stock experience of this, pretty quick. I feel like there's not much to this, but the stock experience, I like the stock switches a lot. They're a good linear switch. I've used these Neo Outs before. Liked them then, still like them now. Their new keycaps. I do like the sound profile that's coming from this keyboard a lot. I don't know how much the foam / like the keyboard's contributing to that versus the keycaps. But the keycaps seem really good quality. They're an ABS PBT mix. They're a new mold from QK, which is awesome to see. I do think there is some room for improvement when it comes to the mold itself. I feel like some of the keys on a very, very fine grain, like fine level, could use a bit more cleaning up. We've seen that with newer molds in the past as well. Another thing maybe for people who care about this too, the build experience on this, if you did take this apart, very, very, very welcoming experience here. Plus, you know, the price point, if you get this like opening 2 weeks, $200 is really good. 220 still makes sense for this. I think you'll have a really good experience with this board. Feels really good and nice and soft as well. I think you'll enjoy the keyboard. I think, again, the only real problem I probably have with this, like on a personal note, is I would have loved to see a regular schmegular PCB. All right. I do think this is pretty, actually. I think the stock keycaps really work on this. I think they're very pretty on this. Let's see what this sounds like now. Removing some foam. This is one piece of foam in between and one piece of foam on the bottom. A lot quieter, not in a bad way. I think it has actually pretty good tonality overall. I think probably what I would do, yeah, even the stabs sound good. All the mods. Just unplug this. What I probably would do, like if you end up buying this and you're someone who wants to tinker and doesn't want like, I guess the quietness of this, maybe something a little louder like a yogurt switch. Let's see that on the spacebar. Yeah, imagine this all with like something a bit louder. I think it sounds great. The only other thing I want to try now is their in-house web driver. So, in-house web driver, can I dismiss this or do I have to update this right now? Okay, we'll just leave that for now. I'm not going to click it. We have layers, so that's good to see. Everything's done by icons here, which is cool. Huh. Restore default. We have media, lighting, function, macros. You can make macros. That's good. Keyboard shortcuts. Okay. We have screen settings. So this is to manage the screen. Valid. Axis lamp. So I guess this is just some of the lighting here. Yeah, so this is going to affect some lighting, more lighting here. Okay. We have a test mode. Oh, that's nice. It even tells you how many times it was pressed. That's impressive. We even have a test matrix mode. Very nice. Love to see that. And then we have a setup, which gives us some win low. Okay, this is nice. Use snap tab. Interesting. I have absolutely zero quarrels. This is like what I expect, what I want out of this. I guess it just allows you to connect to the LCD and then you can do things. Import images. There's typing themes. List of looping animations. So they give you some stuff here to pick from. There's going to be more, it says too, which is fun. You can synchronize the time. That's good. I do think I have to, again, I want to really commend them. This is easy to get into. It's easy to take apart. And nothing's locked down to the point where you can't take a battery out to swap it out. So good for them for that too, because sometimes that can be a bit annoying. No glues on the adhesives, so this is technically fully customizable. I like to see that as well. Good for QK. I like this one here. Bye, everybody.